The recent Warframe Devstream just ended and we've gotten a metric ton of information about what the next updates are going to look like, so you know what that means. Blacky goes in unscripted and gives you a rundown of everything we know, and it is going to be very exciting because we have new story updates for the Stalker, long awaited. We will get more human Warframes, not just Arthur that we know already from the Warframe 99 trailer, but even more. You've seen it in the thumbnail. Big shout outs to all generous channel members, and let's jump right into it. Now, first of all, this dev stream was a very special dev stream because it was not from the Digital Extreme studio like always, but they were streaming live from PAX East in Boston. And usually when I do these dev stream recaps, I figure out an order in which I want to tackle these topics, but I think for today's dev stream, it's best if we just go with their orders. So the first thing on our list today would be 11 years of Warframe. Because yes, in May, Warframe's 11th birthday is coming up, and that means a lot of gifts, not for the game, but for us. First off, and that's going to be the highlight, the new thing, you might have already seen it, we get the Dex Nikana, a brand new Dex weapon, and it looks very nice. We also got this little cinematic right here, and in order to get your hands on the Dex Nikana completely for free, you don't have to do anything, just log in on March 27th when the new update comes out, and you will get it for free into your inbox already with an Orokin Catalyst installed, so 60 out of 60 mod capacity, plus it already has its own inventory slot. And since by now there are a lot more Dex items in the game already, from the 27th on, from next week on Wednesday, we're gonna get 8 full weeks of consecutive drops, consecutive free Dex items. So in case you haven't gotten them yet, keep your eyes open, and even if you already have all the Dex weapons, and I'm saying this every year, get the Dex weapons again and then you can sell them off, but you keep the inventory slot that they came with. And that's not all, because this time we're not only gonna have low level alerts, as it usually is, but we're also gonna have some additional high level steel path alerts for all those of us who like a little bit of a challenge. So let's see how that's going to work out and which rewards we might get from them. So much for the anniversary. The next agenda item though might be really important for you if you want to go to TennoCon, because I don't know if they announced it already, but they said that the ticket sale for TennoCon 2024 is going to start next week on Thursday the 28th, and as we all know, these tickets usually sell out pretty quickly, so make sure to save the date. Also, they revealed a little bit of the funky cosmetics that you might look forward to in the TennoCon digital pack. For example, we have this really cool retro 1999 themed backpack and some throwing weapon skins, but also we have an Arthur floof version, you know, Arthur being the character from 1999, so that one looks really cute. But alright, so much for the housekeeping, let's actually jump into the more nitty-gritty details of what we're gonna see in the upcoming months and weeks. First off, they told us a little bit more about Dante Unbound, you know, the new update coming next week on Wednesday, but since we've already gotten that much information on it, it's not gonna be world-changing. As I already said, it's gonna launch on Wednesday, March 27th, so just in case you haven't heard that yet. They also gave us a little additional trailer that they made, which shows that the main antagonist for this update will be Pavos Granum. I hope I'm not mistaken, I think that is Pavos Granum right here, right? So yeah, that promises to be interesting because I've always been wondering where the guy actually went after, you know, the whole Protea thing. Now, as I initially teased, they didn't give that much information about this update because we already got most of the important information, just some cosmetic stuff like, for example, we're getting Void Shell skins for Banshee, Loki, and Necros, as well as the fact that we can now customize invisibility, so if our frame is invisible from now on, we're going to be able to actually see a bit more of the frame to enjoy our personal fashion frame, so that's really nice. And also, which is something that I'm not actually too fond of, the bunny ears that we usually get for the Easter event, and only for the Easter event, they also got the new fur rework that came with the Crew Bros, and they are going to be permanent from now on. I mean, sure, it looks hilarious, not gonna lie, but I'm personally not that much of a fan of it because I find it too much immersion breaking, even though, of course, we have quite some exaggerated fashion frames nowadays, but like, those ears are just pushing it a bit too far for my personal taste. However, you can have your opinion, and even if you like bunny ears and run around with them every day, I'm still gonna love you. Up next, we have the next Prime Warframe, which would be Protea. I mean, to be honest, that doesn't come as much of a surprise because in the last dev stream, Reb kinda gave it away. But yeah, we're gonna get Protea Prime probably sometime around TennoCon, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I've been postponing my Protea guide because I'm waiting for her Prime version to actually put something out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. She's a very great, very strong frame. But yeah, here we have some cosmetic impressions of Protea Prime. In my opinion, she looks absolutely great, and she will come as all the other Prime Warframes with her signature weapons also in their Prime version, which would be the Velox Prime Pistol and the Okina Prime Daggers. Two weapons I personally haven't used all that much, but I'm looking forward to that, so maybe they're going to be strong. Haven't gotten any stats just yet, but who knows. And last but not least, we also got a confirmation that we're going to have a Protea Prime trailer as well, so I'm looking forward to that too. Alright, so the next agenda item is actually not about Warframe itself, but about Soulframe, you know, the other game that is currently being in development at Digital Extremes. And this one kind of surprised me, because while we pretty much just got another trailer about the stuff that we've already seen in the past, what Jeff, as creative director of Soulframe, said is that they're still actively inviting people to their closed alpha that is currently running. And this came as much of a surprise, they are looking into getting Soulframe a wider sort of founder package type of release still in 2024, so I am really curious about that. I'm not gonna miss the chance to get my Excalibur Prime this time, that much is for sure. More about all the details on Soulframe, its current status, and potential release later this year will probably be given away at TennoCon, so don't miss that one. But of course, I'm also going to keep you informed on this channel right here once it goes live. Now, if you feel that all the topics up until now feel kind of a bit small and not that impressive, then you're certainly not alone, because that is exactly what I was thinking myself. However, now we got an actually big thing, because they just casually announced that, you know, after Dante Unbound and before TennoCon ideally, they want to ship another relatively big and story-focused update that they haven't even talked about until now at all. This update will be called Jade Shadows, and it will be Stalker themed. You know, after many years of having the Stalker in the game and always wondering what is really up with him narratively, we now will probably get some answers to that with a Stalker themed update that didn't show all that much, just a little artwork which already looks nice. And this new update, you know, Jade Shadows, will also introduce the 57th Warframe called Jade that we see on this little picture right here. Just for now, we will get a Yarly Deluxe skin with that update, and we're also going to have a clan event type of thing involved in this update, similar to the Gargoyle's Cry thing that we got with, was it Dagoth? I think it was Dagoth, right? However, even though this information is a little bit thin right now, the devs said that in the next dev stream, we're going to get a deep dive into that Stalker Jade Shadows update, so expect more information next month. But I think you've waited for long enough, so let's actually now get to the big news of this dev stream, and that would be Warframe 1999. We saw a lot more, we heard a lot more, and 1999 is shaping up to be the biggest update of this year, probably, you know, releasing later this year in autumn, in winter maybe, because they did say it's going to be after TennoCon, so make of that whatever you want. But the interesting thing with this is they actually had Arthur, you know, the character from Warframe 99, the guy who's voicing him, they had him on stage, and to be honest, I did not really understand what his name was. Ben Stir, something like that. To be honest, he might be a big deal, but I personally have never heard of him. He seemed like a nice dude and certainly has a nice voice, so I'm looking forward to more Arthur scenes. But if you know him or his work in the past, then maybe this makes you really excited, and in that case, that's really cool. But yeah, let's talk about Warframe 1999. Which new information have we gotten? First of all, and this is the big one, Jeff kind of gave it away. Rebecca tried to push it down a little bit so that we don't get overly excited, but what Jeff said was pretty much, quote, just calling Warframe 99 an update is an understatement. And they mentioned it at various different points that Warframe 99 is potentially, hypothetically going to be a really big thing, not your normal update size, but way beyond that. So that kind of got me interested, you know, how deep is this whole thing actually going to be embedded into the game? And when I heard this, I was kind of like, okay, we have another parallel dimension, you know, we have another Deviri that is going on next to the normal Warframe. It's going to be nice for a couple of hours, and then we're going to get back to the main star chart, right? You know, the main game. And right as I was thinking that, they explicitly said, this is going to be embedded in the game. This is not going to be Deviri. And I was like, please stop reading my mind, thank you. So yeah, this is all kind of a bit cryptic, and I'm very much speculating right here, so please don't quote me on that. But to me, it sounds like we're gonna have a big update, and it's gonna be more intertwined with the base game of Warframe itself than other updates like Deviri, which are basically just content islands. And yes, I hear you, we're gonna talk about the actual human Warframes right now. So, apparently Arthur, aka Excalibur, is not going to be the only human Warframe type version. We're also going to get multiple, that has been confirmed, not just Mag, who we've seen in this little trailer right here, but also, more Warframes from the roster. Also, and this is very important for me, I keep saying human Warframes, but they explicitly stated that Warframes and these new characters called Proto-Frames are not the same, right? Arthur is not Excalibur, and I'm not sure if they actually gave away her name, the Mag type of Proto-Frame's name. If yes, then my apology. You are welcome to correct me in the comments down below. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is Warframes and Proto-Frames are not the same thing. They are separate characters and they are not the same entity under the assumption of eternalism or whatever. So it's all a little bit cryptic, but kind of like what it sounded to me. And again, I'm just speculating out of the top of my mind. Nothing of this has actually been said by the developers themselves. To me, this kind of sounds like they want to take the actual game of Warframe and maybe either add a new star chart type of mission screen, which is all going to be 1999 themed, or similar to the whole Narmer Fortuna before and after thing, they are maybe planning to take the actual base game of Warframe and give it a switch with which you can, go back and forth between the Warframe and the real life universe or something like that. But yeah, the fact that they said it's not going to be Derviri, so it's not going to be like a content island potentially, that really got me curious. So I would be super happy to hear your opinions in the comments down below, what you kind of make out of this, and then, in half a year or so we can see who was right and who was wrong. By the way, if you want to get all the hands-on info on the new Inaros rework, the new Dante Warframe, and much, much more, then you might want to consider maybe leaving the channel a sub so you don't miss it day one when it comes out. Another massive thank you to all my generous channel members. Unfortunately, I don't have a list right now and I want to get the video out as quickly as possible, so we're not going to go through the explicit names right now. I hope you can forgive me. We see each other hopefully in the next one, and until then, as always, good loot and have a nice start into the weekend. Bye!